Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first installment of the First Pitch Strike podcast by yours truly. And today we're going to go over the AL predictions for this year. Only 11 days left until opening day. So this week we're going to talk about AL, and next week we are going to talk about the NL. And to preface, I'm going to talk about what this podcast is and what we're going to talk about in the future. So this is just a baseball podcast. It might be more focused on Red Sox stuff as the season progresses because I'm a Red Sox fan, but mainly it's just all baseball, and we're trying to take a more analytical point of view with more advanced stats. If you like that, we'll use some normal stats, but mostly just advanced stats like weighted runs created plus, WOBA, if you consider that an advanced stat, fielding independent pitching, anything like that. And now we're going to do it once a week, and let's just get on with what we're going to talk about, I guess. I haven't really planned this out very well, but it's okay. So let's go team by team. It's not really based on anything. It's just, I'm going to go team by team. I have it right next to me. So let's start with the Orioles. I think they're going to go 55 and 107. They have literally nothing. No real talent. Maybe Trey Mancini. Maybe he has a good year. I honestly don't see them doing well. They might have a few prospects coming up, but that's about it. Their rotation's subpar. Nate Carnes they added. That was their big offseason addition. He's 30, and he's not going to be that good. Dylan Bundy, maybe he develops. Maybe not. I really don't see anything on this team improving. I think they'll win more than 47 games. I think that's hard to just recreate. Dylan Bundy's only 26, yeah. And he had a pretty abysmal year. Pretty bad. 5.17 FIP, .8 WAR, 8-16. That's just pretty bad. 9.65 K through 9 isn't horrendous, but it's not good. K to walk ratio of 17.3% is pretty atrocious. People are hitting 272 against him, which is horrible. So they really have no talent. They lost Adam Jones to the Diamondbacks, which doesn't make any sense for either side, but whatever. And they just have nothing. I mean, there's no unless. They're not making the playoffs. They're not winning more than 60 games. Maybe they win 60. That's their only maybe. Now let's move on to the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays are interesting because they have so many good prospects, but basically everyone at the major league level is horrible. Marcus Stroman, what a horrible year. I get he was hurt, but come on, he was just bad. It was bad. I mean, his FIP showed his ERA was, he had a 5.54 ERA, but only 3.91 FIP and a 3.84 xFIP, which is, it's better, I guess, but still not wonderful. BABIP 326, so he obviously had an unlucky year, so he'll progress. I think he'll do better, but he's got to have more innings too. I mean, 100 innings, and who knows how much he's going to pitch. They lost Marco Estrada, which hurts. Their rotation's pretty empty. So Vlad is the big question. When is he going to play? He's hurt right now. It's probably not that big of a deal, but the real question is, when is he going to play fully? When is he going to be healthy? When is he going to be playing in this team? And the GM just doesn't want to let him on the team, mostly because of his defensive issues, which is understandable, but at this point, you just need talent on this roster, and they don't have any. You lost Josh Donaldson. You traded Josh Donaldson last year. You need a third baseman. He's an okay fielder, but he's an unbelievable hitter. Unbelievable. And maybe bring Bo Bichette up for September. Get that shortstop position. Get that left side of the infield. That'd be an unbelievable left side of the infield. Second baseman is okay. First base, whatever. Outfield, Randall Grichuk. That's Kevin Pillar is not good. He can field, but that's about it. You lost Russell Martin. Danny Jansen. Your catching situation is good with prospects, so I wouldn't worry about there. But your rotation, your pen, traded Ozuna, which props to you. And you got Ken Giles back, so not that good of a trade, I guess. And they're not going to be good. I have them going 74 and 88, I forgot to say that. So maybe if they bring Vlad up, they win a few more games. But I expect the Blue Jays to be good in 2 to 3 years. But right now it's their tank years. Next, I have the Tampa Bay Rays going 92-70 and taking the second wild card spot. I think they're an intriguing team, a lot of talent, just so much talent. But Blake Snell is not going to win the Cy Young. Blake Snell had a great year, wonderful year, sub-2 ERA. But he had a pretty lucky year and wasn't as good as people really thought. I don't think he should have won the Cy Young, but it's another debate. They added Charlie Morton to fill out that rotation with Tyler Glasnow, so that's okay. They have some other guys. Their pen is looking good. Jose Alvarado, amazing young reliever. Great they got him. But they don't have that much in the pen, which is concerning, which is why I might think they might lose some more. But 92-70 I think is fair. I don't know if they will continue to employ the opener, but if they do, okay. They have some talent in the field. Not that much. I mean, they fixed up some positions to get Joey Wenda, who had an amazing rookie campaign at 27. Tommy Pham, a lot of potential there. Austin Meadows, maybe he progresses. Willie Adames, I think, will have a good year. Vicio Garcia could be a sneaky pick. Mike Zunino. And they just got a lot of young guys that could be good. G-Man Choi, if he has another good year, which I doubt, but he could. Matt Duffy, if I said him. Yandy Diaz, who he traded Jake Bowers for, which I didn't love, but that's also a different story. I think they'll compete. There's some other teams I think could easily overtake them just with their potential bullpen woes and see if the opener will actually work, but I think pretty confidently they will win 90 games again. Charlie Morton, I love Charlie Morton, so. And then I have the Yankees taking the other wild card spot at 101-61. There's just too many concerns I have about this team. The rotation is just a bunch of mid-level starters, and Severino's not even going to pitch till May, so their April's going to be rough. Paxton won't throw more than 140 innings. He never has, never will. Just gets hurt. CC's like 100 years old, so take that as you will. I mean, he sucks. This team is not going to be... I put him at 101 games just so people wouldn't yell at me, but they won't win 100 games. Aaron Judge is a monster. If he stays healthy, then he'll probably win MVP. Didi will be out till June or August, so if you think Troy Tulowitzki is a great shortstop right now, you're out of your mind. DJ Mayhew has never played well outside the course. I don't expect him to be anything except a fielder there. Probably a shortstop. Maybe they put Glaber at short, which I'd guess. Andujar, unless he completely revamped himself, he can't field. Torres is a good hitter, but he's not, excellent, I'd say. They have no first baseman. I mean, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Greg Bird. Greg Bird. Luke Voigt. Come on. That's not... he had a good September. Okay. Alright. No. Stanton at 240. Strike out 30% of the time. That's just gross. Their bullpen obviously is amazing. They won't have problems, but they won't be able to get to the end of the games with a real team because they suck. Red Sox, I have 104-58, losing 4 games more than last year. I have them as the 1 seed in the AL. Few concerns, but overall pretty good. The biggest one, obviously, is the bullpen. But I think some guys coming up will help. Durbin Feltman will be big. I think Ryan Brazier will not nearly be as good as he was last year. Matt Barnes, I think, will have a good year. I really do. I really think he will. Heath Hembry, I think, will pitch okay. Not amazing. But I think Durbin Feltman will be big. I wish we still had Ty Buttrey, trade him for goddamn Ian Kinsler. But whatever, I guess. Ian Kinsler was so helpful to this playoff run that we needed to trade a great reliever for him. Okay. Evaldi, he's kind of a question mark. Well, how he's going to do. I expect a mid-3s FIP ERA, ex-FIP. Hopefully low 3s. He won't be a star. A top 3 pitcher on the team, but not in the MLB. certainly not in the AL, and certainly not in the division. Maybe even not on the team, depending on how Porcello and Erod does. Erod has looked good in spring training. His slider, it's got a lot of depth. It's great. But I have a lot of concerns about his control, his fastball. And Cora seems to love him, but he was pretty mad after one of his starts, so we'll see how that's going to go. Dustin Pedroia could fill the second base hole, but I think Brock Holt and Eduardo Nunez are pretty serviceable there. Xander Bogaerts in his last year of his deal should play really well again. Betts should be MVP caliber. Andrew Benintendi should be great. Martinez should be great. Bradley, if he can hit over 240, thank the Lord. I mean, come on, he's a fielder. He's Kevin Pillar. He's Kevin Kiermaier. All the Kevins, except his name is Jackie. But if Dustin Pedroia comes back, that'd be great. First baseman's fine. You got the platoon of Pierce and Moreland, lefty-righty. I mean, that's all as it gets, but the real concern is the bullpen. But I think it can hold up enough in this division to win the 104 games. Probably less. Truthfully, probably less. Probably a lot less. Probably not even 100, but hopefully they'll repeat. A little biased there, but it's alright. The next one I have is the Indians. The Indians at the 3 seed, winning their division for like the 5th straight year, something like that, 4th straight year. And they have a lot of concerns, but their division sucks, so they're going to win it. Shane Bieber, how well is he going to be that 5th starter? I think he'll be really good. I think this rotation will be unbelievable with Kluber, Bauer, who's just one of the most polarizing figures in baseball right now. He's unreal. He's unreal talent, but that's a weird dude. Like, he is a one weird fella. The outfield is pretty empty. I mean, Carlos Gonzalez they just signed. I mean, they basically have no one, losing Michael Brantley. There's just no one. Leonis Martin, Rajay Davis, Melky Cabrera. They get Jay Bruce. Is he playing? No, he's in the Mariners. What am I saying? Yeah, their outfield is just absolutely horrendous. They just have no one. Their infield obviously is great, besides first base. You got, well, we'll see where Jose Ramirez is going to play now that Donaldson's gone. So he'll probably go back to third, Lindor at short. But that's about your whole infield, isn't it? I mean, Kipnis? Come on, Kipnis. Outfielders, yeah. Zimmer, Naquin, Allen, Bowers, Gonzalez, come on. Bullpen's okay, with Brad Hand being the one really good guy. I like Oliver Perez too. He's a little old, but I think this is a pretty decent team that'll win 91 games and take home the 3 seed in the AL. Coming in second in their division with kind of a bounce back year is the Minnesota Twins. And the Twins, I don't know what their offseason was. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. They didn't really get that much better, I didn't think. They got better, but not that much better. I think their rotation is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Besides Barrios, maybe Kyle Gibson is good, but Barrios, I think he is a Cy Young candidate. Bullpen, okay. Nothing sticks out. Taylor Rogers, maybe. Catchers, Williams Astudillo is one of my favorite players in the MLB. He's hilarious. I think he's like a mini Bartolo. He's 5'9", 225. And he had a great September last year. But Castro and Garver will probably take over those 2 starting spots. Cron is pretty serviceable first baseman with some power. They have Polanco, Sano, and Scope as their infield, which is a pretty decent infield. Who knows how Byron Buxton will play? If he'll stay healthy, whatever. Eddie Rosario is great. Kepler is okay. Marlon Gonzalez will play every single position. And Nelson Cruz can DH, and he is pretty solid at like 1,000,000 years old. And next we have the White Sox in the division, winning 75 games, going 75 and 87. I think Moncada and Anderson finally both have that really breakout year. I think Moncada could eclipse 170 hits. Anderson as well. They both play pretty decent defense. I think moving Moncada to third could be an option. He's got a strong arm and he's a decent fielder. I think that could be a move they make and try to bring Nick Madrigal up this year. Madrigal? Who knows? Rotation is lots of big questions there. Carlos Rodon seems good, but Lucas Giolito is the worst pitcher in baseball. It's not even a question. His 2018 season was so bad. I don't even know how to describe how bad this was. He's second on his team. The second best pitcher in his team, and he's the worst pitcher in baseball. So take that as you will. He's got a good fastball, a decent slider, and a good curveball, but he was just horrible. I mean, horrible. 5.46 xFIP, 6.49 K through 9 with a 2.68 BABIP, which means that he was lucky, or he was unlucky. My bad. That's just he was unlucky. But there's no real signs of progression here. He just wasn't good. K to walk ratio of 4.5%. Horrible. Just horrible. But he had more wins. He had the same amount of wins as Jacob deGrom on a worse team. So he was a top prospect, but now he's just nothing. In their outfield, I mean, who's in their outfield? Adam Engel, Eloy. If Eloy comes up, he'll be solid, but I doubt it because that team is just so annoying. John Jay, Nicky Delmonico, Lori Garcia, Daniel Paca, Ryan Cordell. That's your outfield right now. That's pretty horrendous. Jose Abreu would be a solid piece. Wellington Castillo is also a very solid piece. Rodon, I like. Nate Jones, I like. Jace Fry, I like. Colomb, I like. Aaron Bummer, I hate. I just hate Aaron Bummer because he's a bummer. I already talked about Lucas Giolito. Kristen Fulmer, if he ever develops. Reynaldo Lopez, if he ever develops. Ivan Nova could, turn 25 again and be good, but who really think that's going to happen? I don't. Apparently I'm on hockeyreference.com now. And the Tigers are up next in the AL Central, and I have them going 74-88, which is, I think, pretty reasonable considering they have no talent. When I say no talent, they have no talent. You could say Miguel Cabrera's talent. Actually, no. I'm sorry. Nick Castellanos. They have Nick Castellanos, and that's it. You want anyone on this team? You have Nick Castellanos. He'll be traded. Should be traded by a deadline. I can't see him not being traded. And that'll happen. And then Miguel Cabrera. Okay, he's like, what? He's born in 83. So that's 7, 10, 17. Oh my god. He's like 30. Like 39 or 37. I can't even do math. And Tyson Ross is in your rotation. Shane Green is in their bullpen's not bad. Michael Fulmer, he won't develop again. He won't go back to that rookie of the year promise. Matthew Boyd maybe has a good year. Matt Moore maybe. Daniel Norris maybe. Yogi Menez could be good again. Doubt it. Drew Verhagen, I think he'll be one of the breakout candidates, but that's about it. Grayson Griner catching. Yikes, that's pretty bad. And the Royals, who just really don't have any talent. I mean, if you can point a guy in the Royals, maybe Alberto Mondesi, without Salvador Perez, it's pretty bad. They signed Martin Maldonado. They do have Whit Merrifield, Alberto Mondesi, Ryan O'Hearn, Chris Owings, Hunter Dozier. Their only thing good is their infield, I guess. I love Alex Gordon in their outfield. Billy Hamilton is buns. Terrence Gore is just a worse Billy Hamilton. Brett Phillips could develop. Jorge Soler tried to develop, and he failed at it. Maldonado, he can field. They have a fielding team. This team could win, like, let's think. Maldonado could win a Gold Glove. Merrifield, maybe. Gordon easily could. What are Witt's fielding stats? Because I am interested to see how well he can field, so see how many gold gloves the team could win, because it could be a little ridiculous. Oh, no, he can't field. Well, let me look at second base. He is an above average fielder, but not that impressive. Mondesi, I really like Alberto Mondesi. I mean, he's a solid player that will have a great year. Young, shortstop. If he can hit 290, God, he'll be good. He'll be good. He doesn't have a lot of power, but switch hitter, maybe top of the order, end of the order guy, he could be good. And I had them going 66-96 because of the lack of basically anything. And now we move on to our final division, and that would be the NL West. And I have the Astros continuing being great, going 97-65, taking home the 2 seed. And the Astros are very concerning for me. They could win less than 90 games, and that sounds crazy, but they could. This rotation, aside from Verlander and Cole, and who knows how old Justin Verlander is going to do. I spell Astrons. Yes, that's how you spell Astros, Astrons. How old Verlander is going to do. Of course, they don't have McCullers. He's out the year. Keuchel's probably not coming back. Morton's gone. Bullpen's good, but they'll probably need Josh James to start. Wade Miley's going to have to start. Had a good year last year, but I doubt he returns to form. Ryan Presley, I think he's just a product of trading to a good team, and he played well. I don't think he'll have that great of a year. Hector Rondon could have a good year. Joe Smith is old. Framber Valdez is okay, but they're starting pitching prospects. But Francis Martes and Forrest Whitley just can't stay off the roids, so I doubt they do anything there. Catching situation is good with Chirinos and Stassi. Obviously, their position is just unbelievable. You got Gurriel, Reed at first with Altuve, Bregman, Correa, and Diaz. Come on, that's just unbeatable. And Brantley in the outfield, who's on my fantasy baseball team, and so is Alex Bregman, so they better do something good. But that's about it in the outfield. Springer, my bad, who's also on my fantasy baseball team. Fun fact. Miles Straw could develop. Derek Fisher could develop. I hope he does. Josh Reddick could play right field. They're going to have a big competition for that right field spot, and I'm excited to see who's going to win it. I think it'll be Derek Fisher. I really do. I think it'll be good for the team if he does. I don't like Marisnick or Reddick. One of them will get the 4th outfielder spot, but that's about it. And so they'll be good. They have a tough division. It's kind of top 3 are good, but everyone else is kind of just absolute buns. Buns. Like, they're bad. They have nothing. But I think that they'll win some games. They'll win a lot of games, but I think in the postseason, their starting pitching might hold them back. And if Wade Miley's a bad year or Josh James is a bad year, they could lose 10 more games. It could happen. Or if they just start getting injuries, but that's why I have them at 97 wins, as I always said. I think I said 97 wins. And next, I have the Angels having a decent year, going 89-73, because they got better. Of course, they have the best player in baseball, one of the best players of all time, Mr. Mike Trout. They have the best defensive player in baseball, Andrelton Simmons, Simba, also my fantasy baseball team. You know. Upton in the outfield, Hermosillo is horrible. Calhoun's pretty bad. Lucroy's decent behind the plate. Fletcher, great second baseman. Pujols, okay first baseman. Bohr, okay first baseman. And their bullpen's not bad with Cody Allen, Luis Garcia. I forgot about Shohei. Of course, how can you forget about Shohei? He won't be pitching this year, though, which is a little concerning. Nick Tropiano and Tyler Skaggs, along with maybe Jaime Barrio start. And they have Ty Buttrey. I miss Ty Buttrey. Matt Harvey and Andrew Heaney will make up okay rotation. Of course, Buttrey's not going to be in rotation. I just said that because I love him. And I don't believe they have anyone that's going to come up and be that big of a helper this year. But They are pretty set, and I think this team could win a lot of games if their starting pitching develops. First base, not first base. Their pen is okay. I mean, they have some good guys, but nothing to gallant over. And third base could be a big issue for them down the stretch if they can't find a good guy to go there. So I have them 89 wins. Could easily be 79. Could be 94. Depends on their pitching and their third base plays. If Simba has another great year, Trout stays healthy. If Trout gets hurt, lose 20 games. Just take off 20 games from whatever you thought. Because he'll give them 20 games. He's that good. And this Angels team, I think, will beat out the A's by barely. And you'll see right now, by one game, and I have them going 88 and 74 because they don't have starting pitching. I just can't stretch this enough. They have no starting pitching. None. It's gross. I mean, Marco Estrada. When Marco Estrada is probably your best pitcher, maybe Mike Fiers, your team is not doing so hot. Their bullpen's great with Lou Trevino and Blake Trinan, with Joaquin Soria and Fernando Rodney, but I'm looking at their pitching and I see two starters. Maybe Brett Anderson starts, but I see two starters. So unless they're doing the opener 3 days a week, or I really don't know what this team's going to do with their starting pitching. Catching is gross. Josh Fegley is a backup catcher. Infield is pretty slim. Of course, you got great in the corners with Olsen and Chapman, two Gold Glovers, and two stars. Profar can play anywhere you want. Semien will be their shortstop, and Barreto probably play second for them. Profar will be the guy that comes in when they need him. Chris Davis obviously will DH, and Chris Davis will hit 247 with 43 home runs every year. Laureano's got a great arm and can hit. And I love Stephen Piscotty. Stephen Piscotty is a top 100 player for me. I don't know where I put him. I think decently high. They have a talent, but their pitching is just not amazing, and that is really concerning. But if they get to the end of the game with the lead, they're going to win. But the problem is their pitching is going to let up so many runs that they'll never get there, which sucks. But, I mean, that's what happens when your team sucks. When you don't really go out in free agency and get pitching because your owner is too cheap. And it's not 2002 anymore. People don't understand this. It's not 2002. They have money. They have plenty of money. It's not Yankees have $80 more million to spend than we do. No, they can do things that the Yankees can. No, obviously not to the extent, but they just choose not to spend money. And they choose not to trade guys, which is disappointing. It's really disappointing, and I feel bad. In my original top 100, which is my really old one, I have them at 74, which is probably grossly bad. Grossly too high. Access denied. Alright. That's cool. I don't know where I put him, but I put him at top 100, maybe like 93, I think. My video's out on that. You can watch that one if you want. Their outfield's good, but not great. And they're just absent of that star pitcher that they need, like they had in 02 and 03. This team is just... I don't even know how they won 97 games last year. That was just ridiculous. That was ridiculous. They should have... I really don't. It kind of showed when they got spanked by the Yankees in the wild card game when they actually had to face a real team. But, what can you do? And the second to last team is the tanking Mariners, Seattle Mariners, going 74 and 88, who basically traded anyone of value except Mitch Haniger. Their absence of real talent, except Mitch Haniger, and maybe if you want to say D. Gordon is talent. Rotation is good, not great. Felix Hernandez is a bum. He's a bum, and I'm calling it right now. This is his last year. I just can't see him playing after this year when he goes 5-20 with a 6.1 ERA because he can't pitch. Yusei Kikuchi will be bad. You watch, he'll be bad. Leak and LeBlanc are okay. and their bullpen's not horrible. Omar Navarro is a good catcher. They don't have a horrible team. It's pretty well-rounded. Malik Smith was a good trade. I like that one. But they don't have the guy that'll put them over the top. They need about 4 of those. Like the Red Sox needed JD Martinez to put them over the top to win the World Series. A guy that had a lot of power to replace David Ortiz. The Mariners need about 5 JD Martinez's. They need a lot. They have a bunch of mid-level guys. That's why their roster doesn't look so bad. It's because all their guys would be starters on most teams. But the problem is those guys would be end-of-the-order guys. And they need some real stars. Maybe except Mitch Haniger, of course. Sorry, I just haven't done this before on podcasts. Talking for 30 minutes is a lot of work into a computer screen, if you didn't know. And the last team that we have is the the Texas Rangers, going the same record of 74-88. I love what the Rangers did this offseason. They actually gave themselves a rotation that could be good. It won't be good, but it could be good, and that's all I care about. They had Lance Lynn, Shelby Miller, Mike Minor, Drew Smiley. It's not horrible. It's not good. Don't get me wrong there. It's not even close to being good, but it's not that bad. They have some good bullpen pieces like Jose Leclerc, Jesse Chavez, they got from the Cubs, and that's about it. Catching, Jeff Mathis and Kiner Falfa probably won't catch, but he's listed as a catcher. Falafel? What's his name? Falafel? I don't know. Infield, they basically have 4 infielders, 1 for each position. They'll have Guzman at first, Odor at second, Andrews at short, and Cabrera at third, which is not as bad as infield. Guzman's pretty good. Outfield, Chu, Shields, and Mazzara, with Gallo DHing. Calhoun, Granite will make up those backup spots. They have a lot of pitchers. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pitchers. That is unreal. I couldn't even imagine having 18 pitchers on a team. Wait. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So they're going to have to cut down probably 5 pitchers and an outfielder, which is still, even with 13, which is, I think, too much. I think you need 12 pitchers and 13 position players, but that's just personal preference. I don't think they'll be good. Tough division. There's not much to say about them. They just don't have talent. Gallo is horrible. I mean, he hits a lot of home runs, but that's about it. And he's not going to be in the home run derby, so why do I really care about him? I'm just as an FYI, I'm probably going to be going into more in-depth stats as these podcasts go along, but the first few are just going to be trying things out, seeing how they run. This one was basically just me talking. Next week will probably be the same thing, going over my predictions and opinions, and this kind of just was going over the rosters as well. We're about 33 minutes right now, which is probably where I wanted to be, which is still a long time. My throat is starting to hurt, which is annoying, but it's okay. And JBJ just made a nice play in the outfield. That was kind of weird, but that's a different story. And I'm probably going to put this on my YouTube channel, on some random podcast page, and maybe eventually get on the Spotify and Apple Podcast or whatever it's called. So if you like this, stick around for some more. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and do whatever is the same equivalent as subscribe on other things, because this has been the First Pitch Strike podcast with your boy Dell's Films. Until the next one, see ya.